Hi guys, I was talking to Miss McNeil and I was telling her that there was this really good book that came out recently and I wanted to share it with you all. But you guys know that I have such a super busy schedule. I was asking Miss McNeil if I could share it with you via screencast. So some days you're going to see me on the camera and then other days you're going to see my computer screen because I want you guys to see some things that I'm looking at. So the book that we're going to start reading is called A Long Walk to Water. And we've got to do some building background of that so that you guys have somewhat of a sense of where the story takes place and what's going on. So, the first thing I want you to look at is where the story takes place, the physical location of this story, A Long Walk to Water. And as you can see, this is the continent of Africa, and it takes place in Sudan. It actually takes place in the southern Sudan, so in this area down here. What's interesting to note is that this story has a dual plot. So it has a storyline that's told in 1985, and then also a storyline told in 2008. So there's two storylines that travel through this book, and that you'll follow both of those characters on their journey. So I want you to take a look at these words that are on the board. You have Salva, he learned Arabic, rebels, crack, fighting for independence, southern part of Sudan, run into the bush, in a panic, different religions, away from home. So I want you to stop for just a minute and think about, based on what you see in those particular phrases and words, what might this book be about? So I'm going to give you 20 seconds to think. And then I want you to turn next to somebody that's sitting around you and I want you to tell them, what do you think this book is going to be about? Do that now. Go. All right, so back with me. So the next thing that we're going to look at is there's a quick video that I wanted to do to give you an intro. And as I said before, there's two plots. So you're going to follow the story of a little girl named Nya, and it's not Naya, even though it looks like it's spelled that way. Her name is Nya, and then Salva. So Nya and Salva, their stories. And I wanted to show you this video. So if you would, go ahead and prepare yourselves to watch this quick video intro. Sorry. Okay, so that's just a quick video, and we're going to jump right into the book. But what I want you to do is you should open up your reading response notebook. And if you don't have one, I'm going to give Miss McNeil a chance to pass one out to you. And on the next clean page of your reading response notebook, I want you to say the following, or I want you to write the following down. A long walk to water. And then I want you to put this T chart, Southern Sudan 2008 on one side and Southern Sudan 1985 on the other. I'm going to give you a minute to get that done. Again, reading response notebook, A Long Walk to Water should be your heading. Southern Sudan 2008, Southern Sudan 1985. Add one more thing for me. Add chapter 1 behind the title. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And as I read today, I'm going to read two different storylines because I told you that it tells you about two different people. And what I want you to do is I want you to write down things that pop out to you already in the first chapter from each storyline. So, chapter 1, Southern Sudan, 2008. Going was easy. Going, the big plastic container, held only air. Tall for 11 years, Nya could switch the handle from one hand to the other, swing the container by her side, or cradle it in both arms. She could even drag it behind her, bumping it against the ground and raising a tiny cloud of dust with each step. There was little weight going. There was only heat, the sun already baking the air, even though it was long before noon. It would take her half the morning if she didn't stop on the way. Heat, time, and thorns. So I'm going to give you a minute to write down some things that you just learned about Nya in her storyline of the Southern Sudan 2008. Now I'm going to read the next part of chapter 1, Southern Sudan 1985. And think about this. That is, it's 2017, so that was 15 years till 2000 plus 17, so that's 32 years ago. Salva sat cross-legged on the bench. He kept his head turned toward the front, hands folded, back perfectly straight. Everything about him was paying attention to the teacher. Everything except his eyes and his mind. His eyes kept flicking toward the window, through which he could see the road home. Just a little while, a few minutes more, and he would be walking on that road. The teacher droned on with the lesson about the Arabic language. Salva spoke the language of his Dinka tribe at home, but in school he learned Arabic, the official language of the Sudanese government, far away to the north. 11 years old on his last birthday, Salva was a good student. He already knew the lesson, which was why he was letting his mind wander down the road ahead of his body. Salva was well aware of how lucky he was to be able to go to school. He could not attend the entire year because during the dry season, his family moved away from their village. But during the rainy season, he could walk to the school, which was only half an hour from his home. Salva's father was a successful man. He owned many head of cattle and worked as their village's judge, an honored, respected position. Salva had 3 brothers and 2 sisters. As each boy reached the age of about 10 years, I'm going to stop there and I'll start recording in just a minute. But while I'm stopping, I want you guys to go ahead and write some things down.